What's going on YouTube? Today I'm just going to give you my thoughts on using the Google Pixel 6 Pro here since it was released. This is going to be my midterm review, so if you're interested in picking this up, check my other videos as well, because I'm not really going to go over all of the specs. I've done that in quite a number of videos already. But let's get into my thoughts about the Pixel 6 Pro months later. Design is either something you really like or you don't. For me personally, I think this is a pretty nice design. It's going to be something that Google is going to use going forward. I believe this is a nice design not only because it differentiates themselves from all of the other Android phones out there, but it's also easily recognizable as a Pixel device if you see this out in the wild. And I have seen a couple of these in the wild as well. So I think Google did a nice job with their overall design of the Google Pixel 6 Pro. The screen itself is a very enjoyable panel, and with that variable refresh rate, it does its thing to try and save battery when you don't need that full 120 Hz power. More about battery life in just a little bit. But in direct sunlight, there's no problems viewing this panel. Late at night as well, I don't have any issues with this panel. So whether you're just watching YouTube videos or if you're just looking online for something to read or whatnot, you're going to have a very nice time with this panel, so no issues with the panel whatsoever. In terms of multimedia watching, the speakers get really loud, so just take a listen to the speaker quality. What's going on YouTube? This is the brand new Samsung Tab S8 Plus, and it's the middle child of Samsung's newest tablets. They have the S8, which is a little bit smaller. They also have the S8 Ultra, which in my opinion is just a massive beast. This is the best all-around tablet in terms of being able to play your games and enjoy them in all that full glory. And it's also a great couch surfing tab. I've been using this for In terms of responsiveness, the 6 Pro is pretty much very responsive for the most part. No issues, no lags, nothing like that at all, other than the occasional bug which does pop up from time to time. And what I like to remind people who are interested in the 6 Pro at this moment, I still call this a first-gen device because Google's using its own chip. It's the first device that they've put this chip in, so it is kind of expected that we get a couple bugs here and there. Now, I personally only have come across a couple bugs, and it doesn't happen frequently. It doesn't happen each and every time I try and do something. Once in a while, if I exit an application, the home screen takes a split second to come back. It kind of remains blank for a little bit, and then it'll refresh itself and come back. But again, that does not happen frequently. That only happened a couple times. And I also had a couple issues. We're trying to quick launch that camera, did not open up the camera application. That's just a bug that I've come across as well. But again, I haven't been able to replicate these problems on a daily basis. It's just a problem that arose here and there. So I wouldn't really categorize that as a huge issue, but just know if you do buy the Pixel 6 Pro at the moment, Google's still trying to push out some updates and they're still trying to fix the bugs that people are letting them know about. But I don't think that deters anyone. That definitely does not stop me from using this phone. I think the responsiveness, the snappiness, overall I'm pretty satisfied with the 6 Pro. The fingerprint reader, yes, it is pretty slow, and I mentioned that in other videos. And a couple updates were pushed out to try and make it seem a little bit faster, but from some days, I don't know what goes on with this phone. Some days the fingerprint reader just does not want to work. About 3 days ago, I sat here trying to unlock my phone about 20 times and it just wouldn't unlock, so I had to revert to that PIN code. And of course for the video, it's going to work each and every time, but the fingerprint reader on this phone is not the best. It is kind of hit or miss, and that's why I wish Google would actually bring back a face unlock. Just about every other flagship on the market has face unlock, and especially if Google knows their fingerprint reader is not the best, I think that would be a time to implement a face unlock. Most people though, when you ask them about Pixel devices, they're going to mention these cameras on the back, and these cameras are still some of the best and most capable cameras on the market. I shoot a lot of stills. I don't go out and do a lot of video recording, but the stills that I get from the 6 Pro always amaze me, always amaze my friends. When I do a side-by-side photo comparison, 9 times out of 10, people always choose the Pixel phone. That's just what it is, and I happen to agree with them. The Pixel camera is definitely one of the better shooters on the market. Now again, it's all done with AI these days, so Google's algorithms do a really nice job because unfortunately you don't have any pro mode on the Pixel 6 Pro. Everything is going to be handled by Google, and some people like that, some people don't. But I've gone into more camera in-depth reviews in my other videos, so I'm not going to talk too much about how the camera application works. Just go ahead and take a look at those other videos if you want to. The Achilles heel on this phone is definitely the battery life, guys. Battery on the 6 Pro, at least for me, has not been all that good at all. Except, I do want to mention, if you're on LTE, you are going to get pretty good battery life. But if you're on 5G or 5G ultra capacity on T-Mobile, do not expect to get a full day out of this phone. You're going to get probably 3/4 of the day. Now, people who claim they're getting awesome battery life, I think they're still working from home. I don't think they're actually going out into the world, Because if you're on Wi-Fi or you're just in an LTE area, you definitely will get a day, maybe a little bit more than a day. But the minute you step outside and you get into that 5G area, 5G ultra capacity, your battery is just going to drain like nobody's business. It is a mixed bag when it comes to usage. Some say they get really great usage, and others are with me and say the battery life is trash. So I'm kind of interested, if you do have this phone, what's your battery life been like? Again, for me guys, it's a day of usage if I don't use it all that heavy. If I'm going a little bit heavy that day, listening to a lot of music, map navigating and all that good stuff, I know I'm going to have to charge this about midway throughout the day, and that's just a part of life. That's just what it is. I guess you get used to it when you have a new device. When it comes to Pixel devices though, it's all about the extra Google goodness, Google magic that comes with this device, such as Hold for Me, which is going to actually hold the line for you if you call up a company and you have that long 30-minute wait time. The Google phone, the Google Assistant, is going to actually hold your place online and let you know when somebody's actually on the line waiting to take your call. The spam and call screen option is one of those features that I actually miss when I move to other devices. And it's just because I get less robocalls to my phone, I get less unwanted phone calls. Any unknown number or any first-time caller is going to get directed to your Google Assistant if you set it up that way. So this is a great feature from Google that I actually can't live without as well. Another feature that I really like on Google phones is the Now Playing option. It just lets you know what's been playing around you, and you get a little history about what it heard when you were out and about. Now for you privacy worry warts, you can always turn this off if you want to, but I find it very useful. You can quickly add it to a playlist, you can quickly like it, you can do a whole bunch of things with the Now Playing song list. So that's another feature that always brings me back to the 6 Pro. Another great feature of the Google Pixel device is the Magic Eraser, and we do have to come back to the camera for this. This is just something that is super cool in my opinion. Now, is it the best and be all when it comes to camera editing and whatnot? It is not, but it does a really nice job, and it's automatically auto-selected the things it thinks I want to erase. So if you're somewhere and you want to get rid of people or items to make your photo just pop and look a little bit better, such as getting rid of people from Times Square, just look how much better this photo looks. You can actually do that with Magic Eraser, and that's a Google feature that I actually really like, guys. Now we have to talk about fit and finish when it comes to about $1,000 device, and I have to say Google did a nice job when it comes to the build quality. No issues with the build quality, feels really nice and premium in the hand, although I'm suspecting mostly everyone's going to put a case on their phone. I'm not about to risk dropping this and have it shatter and break just because of how nice it feels in the hand, guys. So I always put a case on it. I really wish one day I'd have no fear when it comes to not using a case, but that day is not here. The Pixel 6 Pro is not that device. One day maybe. Here's to looking towards the future. But I think they did a nice job with build quality. No complaints when it comes to build quality. No complaints when it comes to styling, the colors. I think they do a nice job overall. In terms of the UI as well, I think Google did a really nice job. Everything's nicely organized, everything is very easy to find, and everything is categorized nicely. They don't throw a ton of options at you like some other manufacturers and hope one of them will stick. They just give you the necessities, they just give you pretty much what they think most people are going to use, and that's what I like about the Pixel 6 Pro. It's just a what you need type of phone, and that's what I like about it. Everything that I ever need in a phone is here, and I think for most people everything that you're going to need is here as well. If you're looking for a really nice phone and the Pixel 6 Pro is one of those devices you've been thinking about, do not discount this phone because of a couple bugs here and there, guys. Do not discount this phone because I think Google did a really nice job and they're giving everyone pretty much what we wanted. We wanted a large battery in here, and even though it lasts just about a day barely, it's still a really nice device, and I think Google will fix that battery life, and maybe it's just my device, who knows? Let me know down in the comments below once again what your battery life's been like. But if you're looking for an awesome device, no matter when you're watching this video, the 6 Pro should definitely be on the top of your list. You're getting an excellent camera, you're getting updates for years, you're getting a really solidly built phone as well, and a very nice looking phone if you ask me. I think this is still an awesome device. This is still a device I rock every day. It's still a device that when I put down, I always come back to. And that's the Pixel magic. That's the Pixel goodness built into each and one of these phones. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you in another video.